Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. If you can do me a favor, leave a like on this one before we get into it. But let's move into the news. We have a tweet from Fabrizio Romano today that has shone a bit of light on the current Chelsea transfer situation. Of course, we know we've brought in Lukaku, we've sold a lot of players, but where do we currently stand? We've seen, the Jules Kounde situation. Are Chelsea going to strengthen elsewhere? If there is an area I think we need to strengthen, for me it would be central midfield. And this shines a bit of light on that. So let's read the tweet. It starts with, Chelsea will decide in the next few days whether to buy a new midfielder or not. Keeping an eye on Saul Niguez, he's considered a possibility, not advanced yet. So there we can see, obviously, Chelsea are considering Saul Niguez. It says not advanced yet though, meaning that we probably haven't even been in contact with his agent or the club to see what sort of fee and wages and stuff like that they're going to be asking for. So nothing major has happened yet. But we've got an eye on him, we're thinking, is he the right fit for us? Is he what we're looking for in the midfield? And I could see him doing a good job at Chelsea, so I wouldn't be too opposed to us going for him. Looking at Saul Niguez's stats for this season, of course, we've got nothing major. The season has just started. But we can see he's made one La Liga appearance, played the full 90. He got one assist in that game from centre-back position from central midfield, with a 7.72 average rating. So overall, that is, a great start to the season. You can look back into, last season and seasons before, but that's a great start to this season. He's a relatively tall, I think he's around 6 foot central midfielder. And in this game, he played a little bit more on the left. And as I said, managed to get an assist. If you don't know anything about him, his characteristics are his strengths. He's got a great, very strong defensive contribution, very strong in the tackle, strong in aerial duels and holding onto the ball, and concentration is also strong. His only weaknesses would be finishing, according to WhoScored.com, which is where I get all of this data. And honestly, that sounds pretty bang on from what I'm seeing. Very physical, likes to tackle, likes to get in there, and managed to contribute with an assist in this game. It does annoy me that his finishing is a little bit weak, because if there's one area that Chelsea's midfield currently lacks, it's finishing. It's that threat from distance. Our current team, we have players that can hit one from distance, a Mason Mount, apparently a Trevor Chalobah, Reece James can sort of do it from distance. Other than that, there's no one really that's going to be approaching from that out-of-the-box midfield area and come and strike one into the top corner. And Jorginho, not really going to happen. Kovacic barely scored a goal in his time at Chelsea. So, it is an area that I would have liked to see maybe push that way a little more. But Saul Niguez is a great option to have in that midfield, and I wouldn't be opposed to us going for him at all. Looking at his transfer market value on this website, it is valued at about 36 million. If Chelsea can get him for around that fee, I actually wouldn't be too opposed to that at all. For 36 million, considering all the players that we've sold, we've pretty much broke even on Lukaku now, so we've not really spent any money. To invest 36 million is fine by me. Whether Atletico Madrid are going to let him go for that, though, is another question. So that one, a little bit up in the air. Chelsea considering it, but nothing major happening yet. Of course, I'll keep you guys up to date with anything that moves there. Then, to break down the second half of this tweet, we have Chelsea is still working on the Kounde deal too. So that is a good sign, I guess, that we're still going for Jules Kounde. Personally, for me, I don't think we actually need him. Could use a sort of like two separate sides. I think we could use him. I think we'll utilize him within this squad. But do we need him? No. Given that we've literally just sort of had announced that Trevor Chalobah is going to be staying at the club, so is Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu can play in the midfield as well. Chalobah, I think, can push a little bit more towards defensive midfield and such as well. So, maybe that's the plan for them in the future. But Chalobah has done really well at centre-back, and Ethan Ampadu's main position is centre-back. So to see those two still staying, we've got Rudiger, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma. We're having a lot of centre-backs at this club now. Now, whether one of them leaves or something like that, I'm not too sure. It's also possible that Chelsea are looking for the future with this Kounde deal. Maybe Rudiger or Christensen, we know their two contracts are expiring. Maybe neither of them are looking like they're going to re-sign and that they're going to end up leaving Chelsea in, I think it's like a year or so now. Their contracts are running out. It's not that long to go. So maybe that's the situation. And from the outside perspective, it seems a little weird, but Chelsea are thinking for the future. They're thinking these guys are going soon, so we're going to have to get someone in. That is very possible. It's also possible that they're looking to sell people. Kurt Zouma's been linked to a move away. Ampadu and Trevor Chalobah, if they are staying according to these reports, which it seems pretty valid, then to have Thiago Silva and Azpi as the aging ones. Maybe they're looking to be phased out of this team. Maybe Tuchel doesn't think Azpi can do it anymore, and neither can Thiago Silva. I would disagree on that, but maybe that's where he thinks. And then, of course, you got the contract situation with the other two. So maybe this is just because it's all up in the air. I don't see how we're going to get all of these defenders playtime across this season, but I guess it's better to have more players in defence than not enough. I don't know, it's a weird one for me. But let's quickly take a look at Jules Kounde. He did make an appearance for Sevilla in the La Liga. He made one appearance the other day, got 90 minutes on the pitch, and managed a 7.3 average rating for that game. So overall, that is very strong. I've got no complaints with that. The reports I'm seeing are saying that Sevilla are making us pay the release clause, basically. They're not going to accept anything less. So that's 68 million, I think it is. If we're going to spend 68 million, for me, that money is better off saved or put elsewhere, into a central midfielder or something along the lines of that. In my personal opinion, I don't think we need to strengthen the centre-back position that much. But if it happens, I'm fine with it. He's a great defender. He's young, so he'll come in and he'll do a job at Chelsea, I'm sure, for the future. So we'll see how all this goes. I'll keep you guys up to date with anything that changes in this regard. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of updates. I'm thinking more so on the Kounde sort of side of things at the moment. Saul Niguez maybe will be the third signing that we'll make this window if we're going to do anything. I think it'll be Lukaku. I do think we're going to sign Jules Kounde. And then Saul Niguez or another central midfielder that Chelsea have their eyes on. I think that's how this window is going to go, if anything. So I'll keep you guys up to date with any changes. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like on this video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.